Okay, I'm going to explain you how relays work. But first I'm going to have to explain you what different kind of contacts you will have on relays. There is three different kinds of contacts. A normally open switch, a normally closed switch, and a combination of both. One is closed and the other one is open. So when I push the button, like this is the switch here, and it has normally two contacts, two contacts here. This one has double. So right now it's in the off position. So right now the contact is open. So the contact between this one and this one is open, and also between the two wires it's open. That's this position. Now when I close the switch, I'm going to have a closed position. So I close the switch on. Now we have contact between those two. These are shorted out and these two are closed too. So that's this position. Now we have the third one. It's a combination of both. This switch has three contacts, one in the middle and one on the outside. The two on the outside, they are fixed, and the one in the middle is movable. It's either this way or the other way. So it's closed on this. These two will be closed, or these two will be closed, depending on the position. Put this way, this is going to be closed, and this one is going to be open. Move it the other way, and move it the other way, then this one is going to be closed and this one is going to be open. So that's the same thing with relays, except in this, here I have another one with three contacts, you see. Normally these two are, I don't know if they're closed or open, or these ones, but one set is closed and the other one is open. When I push here, then it's going to switch. So the left, this one and this one are fixed, and the middle one is movable. The middle one can move, can connect with this one, or it can connect with the other one. So when I push here, these contacts are going to be closed, and if I open, these contacts are going to be closed, these two, the middle one and this one here. So it's the same thing with so this is one with switches. So this is with switches. That's what I'm showing you right here. That's what I'm showing you right here. Now with relays, it's exactly the same thing. The only difference is with a relay, the only difference is with a switch, like this one, I have to physically push to make the switch. Or with this one here, I have to flip the switch to be able to move the contacts. With the relay, we have a coil that does the work. See here I have a relay, and it has two sets of contacts here. And I can push it, and it will change from one to the other, or let it go, just like a switch. This works like a switch. If I push here, then these contacts will be closed. See? Now the contacts are closed. If I don't push, now they are open. And as you can see, there is only one set of contacts. It only has contact here, normally open, and the normally closed, there is no contact on the back side there. They didn't put it in. So it's only the switch like we have here, normally open contact. When I push here, then the switch is closed. But since this is a electromagnet, here is a coil with wires, and you see the connection here. This one is supposed to work with 12 volts DC. You see, 12 volts DC. If I put 12 volts DC on the coil, then it will activate the switch and it will pull it. It will make magnetism and it will pull the metal part and close the contacts. If I take away the power to the coil, it will let go, no more magnetism, and go back to the open position. So it's exactly the same as a switch. So it's exactly the same as a switch. Only this one, instead of me physically moving the switch, to just put power to the coil, and that will be the same, that will do the same job. Now here I have another coil. This one is also 12 volts DC. You can see 12 volts DC. But this one is has 3 contacts. One normally open and one normally closed. You can see when I push, it closes this contact, and now it's opening that contact and closing the other one. So when I put 12 volts on the coil here, when I put 12 volts here on the coil, here those 2 contacts, then it will make magnetism and it will pull and close the other contact. If I take away the voltage from the coil, then it will let go and it will go back to the original position and close these 2 contacts. The same as this position here. Now to connect the relay, you see that all these contacts here, they have connection to one of those pins here. This pin goes to this fixed pin is going to this one here. The coil, for example, goes to these 2 pins here, this one and this one. So this set of contacts have these 2 pins, and the other set of contacts on this side has these 2 pins, normally open contacts. So they are normally open, as you can see here. So there are many different kinds of relays, like this one. This one is for 48 volts DC, it says here. It says here 48 volts DC. That's for the coil. And you can see it has 2 contacts for the coil. And it has 2 sets of 3 contacts. So that's what we have, the 3rd position there. One normally closed and one normally open set here, and another set here on this side. So as you can see, it can handle 250 volts AC, 10 amps, or 30 volts DC, 10 amps, 1/4 horsepower, 240 volts AC, or 1/8 horsepower, 120 volts AC. So that's the rating of the contacts. Here I have another one. That one doesn't have much information there, but it's only one open contact, normally open contact, in the coil. So as you can see, there is only 4 contacts, 2 for the coil and 2 for the switch. And as you can see in the drawing, the switch is normally open. Here's another one. It says 9 volts DC. 9 volts DC, can handle 10 amps, 250 volts, and it's one contact, normally open. You can see there are only 4 pins, 2 pins for the coil and 2 pins for the contacts, normally open contact. Here's another one. This is for 12 volts DC, and the contact rating is 6 amp, 300 volts AC. And the contacts, what kind of contacts they have, they don't show there. but when you flip it over, you can see there are five contacts. So two must be for the coil, and then the other three are for the contacts. So if you have three contacts for the coil, for the switch, then it means that it's the third position, the one with three normally open, one normally open contact and one normally closed contact. And there are a lot of different kinds of relays. So for more power, for the coil, for example, the coil voltage, you have relays with the coil voltage for 110 volts, 220 volts, etc., etc. All different kinds, so it depends on your application. They also can have a lot of sets of contacts. Here, as I showed you, they only have a double set of contacts, one here and one on the other side. But you can have a lot of sets of contacts, 3, 4, 5, depends on your application. And contacts are smaller or bigger depending on the power that you're going to switch. If you're going to run a big motor, you need a big relay, because the contacts have to handle that high power. So I hope you understand now how relays work. It's actually very simple. It's only a switch, except manually you move the switch with magnetism, with the coil.